To the very last Filmmaker Q&A of the 9th annual San Pedro International Film Festival. This year, of course, like with most things, we are virtual and online. So if you go to our website, spiffest.org, you can check out the films, register for free. It is free to watch. You can also download one of these digital program books that we have and take a look at what else we're doing. And check out the social media. We are streaming on StreamYard, as you know, but this is also going out to YouTube and Facebook. And you can watch the Q&A panel discussions and other filmmaker Q&As that we've been doing. Anyway, I'm here with Esther Turan from BP Underground documentary. Welcome.
Hi, everyone, and thanks for inviting me to this panel.
And I'm also here with the filmmakers of Am Rande der Zeiten, At the Edge of Time, from Zurich, Switzerland. Yes. Welcome.
Welcome to everybody tonight. Yes. Hello. Have a good evening.
Okay, Esther, can we start with you and tell us a little bit about your documentary, please?
Sure, with pleasure. So BP Underground stands for my hometown, Budapest, because I was born and raised in Budapest, Hungary, and my teenager years were super important in my uprising, and I wanted to basically to sort of like just show some kind of a gratitude to the communities and to the subcultures and to the musical genres that sort of shaped me and sort of like, you know, shaped my personality. And as a filmmaker, I found it really interesting because this is a time after communism and after socialism that no one really touched. Some filmmakers in Hungary did make documentaries about whatever happened with counterculture in socialism, but no one really portrayed what happened in the fresh democracy with all those wild teenagers and what kind of music they were listening to and what kind of clubs they went to and what kind of drugs they experienced and how West influenced the East and how Hungary was special. And I found a wonderful female co-director partner. Her name is Anna Koltai, and we teamed up. And it's also so ironic that we sort of portray, because it became a documentary series, and we portray quite masculine musical subcultures and genres. So super briefly, at 9:30 p.m. CET, this is what I, had to say, just as a beginning.
Fantastic. And I think we've lost Yurik there. So I'll continue with you.
No,
you're back. You're back.
But it's not better. I see all the eyes you don't see because of the light, but I have to see myself. Anything, I need the umbrella.
Not a problem. Not a problem. All right, Yurik, would you like to tell us a little bit about your film?
Yes. My film is really made underground. We have no money. We have only the idea. And in the center is the poet from Frankfurt who comes to Zurich to finish his second roman. And he has difficulty with it. So he go in a Schrebergarten. I don't know the English word. Is perhaps Uwe know it?
An allotment garden.
Allotment garden, yes.
I think that's a European thing.
Yeah.
And there...
Well, hang on. What is an allotment? Explain. What is an allotment garden? What is that?
This is like a little square where, where they drink beer. They have like a little hut there. They spend their free time, the weekends there. They drink beer or they do gardening. It's just like...
I can drink beer, but normally they make the garden. They... make vegetable and have a good time out of work.
So it's like a man cave. It's like a man cave that somebody might have in the back of their garden.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's an area where there are a lot of little houses with a little garden, and you hire it. and he
You rent it out. Okay.
received it from a friend to stay there. And they tried to write and finish his Roman to the end, but he don't realize it. He write poems, but poems bring no money. Soon he is out of money, and also his wife is 3 years ago died away, and only her daughter of Frankfurt, of his home, ring him up and say, "Daddy, you have to finish this Roman, otherwise you are ending up in the road under the bridge, you know." And it happened like that. He ended really under the bridge, and surprisingly, there he started to write his Roman. He can write his Roman to an end, and it's really quick tell the story. It's much complicated with a lot of figures in it, but I wanted to don't want it to make too long for you. The interesting thing, I have all my life, I've in over 70 films, I played parts, and in stage nearly 200 parts on stage. But that film I really want to do, to show a side behind creative working. It's not like that. You make it not like that. It's sometimes difficult. Sometimes you get don't know how to pay your rent, your apartment at the end of the month, and all the difficulty with these artist profession I show in this film. That was the thing why I want to do this film. Sorry, my English is not the best, but I hope you understand what I want to tell.
Yes. You're fine. We understand you.
Thank you.
So is the story based on someone in reality? Is it based on a book, or
No,
it's just an idea you had?
It's just fiction. It's based on a lot of friends in acting, actors, also writers I have. They have much more difficulty to live their life without to work in another profession. I'm lucky man. I could do it all my life. I did only stage acting and writing all my life, and have 4 children, and they don't starving hunger, nothing. They have enough food on the table, and I'm really thankful for it. But
You're
a
very
lot
lucky.
of my friends not, you know,
Right, right.
had difficulties in Germany, in Switzerland, in Austria. And to Esther, I have to say, I have also a little bit Hungarian blood from my grandma, you know.
Wow.
Hello.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. So Esther, is there other garden allotments in Hungary? Do you guys have that?
Wow, it's embarrassing. I don't have the answer. I don't know.
Okay. Uwe, how did you come to the film?
We did, Jörg and I, we worked together on my film, like which I did a few years ago, and we worked together. We exchanged a lot our the experience, and now he did a film, and he asked me to do the nephew in his film, so I had a small part in it, and yeah, that's how we work together, because we know each other from my previous film, and it was relaxing for me because my work was done and now I could watch him, running around with the film.
Right.
So this was very relaxing for me.
Yeah, who helped me to come to you to the festival with all this internet stuff. It's not my world, and he helped me really, really wonderful. Yeah.
Well, you're learning. Yeah.
I would say it's very good working with him in regards before in front of the camera. I enjoyed it in my film, and I enjoyed it with him, and the scenes we did, I think they work very well. So it's really enjoyable to work with him, I have to say that. And yeah, that.
Well, with technology, I'm in Los Angeles. You guys are in Zurich, and Esther, you're in Budapest. So, getting back to you, how did you? When did you start working on your documentary?
Getting back to me.
When did you? Yes. When did you start working on your documentary?
So basically, what I gave you earlier is a general description of BP Underground as a documentary series. Now, what we sent to you guys and what is selected to your great festival, it's called electronic music, because that specific episode is portraying whatever happened in the electronic music and in the party culture, you know, ever since the Iron Curtain fall down. We started to work on the series in 2016, and now we finished our 4th episode, which is about the underground rock scene of Budapest. But the one that you guys just broadcast, showed, screened, we did it last year. So we started to shoot it in 2018, and it came out in 2019. And I gotta tell you that first we thought that this is our love project, and we didn't really thought that subcultures and musical genres and counterculture will gain that much attention. But for a reason, it became sort of like a mission, I believe. The first episode that we produced and directed was about the punk scene and the hardcore punk scene, which is, you know, such a great case study, because it's very critical towards society and very sensitive towards social injustice and certain things that are happening in a society. So we started our documentary series with portraying that specific scene, the hardcore punk scene, and it was super low budget, just like Jörg described their project. So we also did it. I mean, I run a film production company for 15 years. So I turned back towards directing with this documentary series. But in real life, I'm more of a creative producer. So I sort of like used, I guess, and I terrorized, you know, some of our subcontractors and some of the people who work with us in bigger, nicer, bigger budgets and international productions. So some of them, poor them, they needed to help me out with you know, the first episode of the series. But then we got funding. So for the electronic music episodes, the 3rd one, the relevant one to your festival, we got complete funding from a huge brand, from Telekom, which is a German brand, and they have an electronic music festival called Electronic Beats, which is pretty huge in Europe. And the premiere was in their festival, and you know, we just got a lot of attention from Berlin to Budapest, from, I don't know, all over Europe, and now the United States, because it's a pretty international topic. Because within the umbrella of electronic music, we discussed the subgenres and the subgenres, and also the party culture, the evolution of, you know, outdoor raves in the 90s, and, you know, whatever happened in Budapest, and how all those Western influences became Eastern, or did they become Eastern, or does it have like a special Hungarian flavor, and who can we be proud of? Like what kind of DJs or what kind of artists gained international recognition in this field, and what kind of clubs we opened, and all those topics. And I also touch, because I really love to hear that Jörg is coming from a theatrical background, because I come from a theatrical background. So we even have a chapter within the electronic music documentary which sort of discusses the collaboration in between electronic music and modern Hungarian theater. And this is one of my favorite chapters, let's say, in this episode, how all those amazing artists collaborated in the past.
Wow, that's fascinating.
I've watched it. I've watched the documentary. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's very good.
Now I'm gonna watch yours.
Huh?
Yours.
You have to do it. Yeah.
See, this is what happens. I know that it's kind of random. We've got a documentary and we've got a feature film, and they're both from separate countries. But it's it was the final Q&A we were doing, and we just sort of quite randomly put you together. But it all kind of makes sense. There's serendipitous things that we're discovering here. That's really cool. I love it. So Yurik, what festivals is your film being screened at?
At a lot of festival, right, Uwe? He
Yes,
said,
yes.
remember to all, you have to tell where it won prizes all over the world.
Yeah, I actually have right here a list. I do all the submissions, and it's been in India. Oh, now where are you? Well,
In Montreal, in New York, in Italy.
okay. Willie Fest, that's in Williamsburg, New York. There it was in Florence, it was in Calcutta, and it was in Montreal, where he won Best Actor. It was New York Movie Awards, European Cinematography Awards, and yeah. So
In Vienna,
some-
I have to say Esther is really near to Esther in Vienna also, right?
in Vienna, that was the
Yeah,
goal.
right.
Yeah.
We are 2 hours away by car, and now that I don't, you guys don't know it about me, but Ziggy knows about me that I divide my time in between Los Angeles and Hungary. Now COVID makes me stay in Hungary for longer, but when you spend significant time in the United States, then distances in Europe become weird. Like 2 hours away from Vienna, in California, it's basically just a regular normal thing,
Yeah, that's a drive home after work.
Yeah.
For some, not for all, but yeah. Esther, where's your documentary been? What festivals?
So I'm really happy that we got selected to the Southeastern European Film Festival in LA that I already knew from being in LA. That's something that I have to remember, and some other festivals, but I'm sorry, maybe because of my son made me super exhausted because he just awake. By the way, he might run out from his room. I don't know. I don't remember, but there are other like 3 or 4 LA-based or California-based festivals that we got selected for. Some festivals in Europe, some mostly German, for a reason, maybe because we have a huge techno chapter as well, and techno is huge in German-speaking territories. So we got some recognition in certain German festivals, some in Hungary. But now everything, when it comes to festivals, everything is so different, right? Like because of the COVID, you cannot experience anything in person.
Yeah. We have just to break our premiere in Switzerland. It's funny. They say, what, in India, in San Pedro, in New York, they have seen the film, and even my wife haven't seen the film. We have just a week before a premiere. We have to stop it because of the virus. Yes.
Yeah.
And
It put
I wait till the people can come free in the cinema. I have the time. I'm old. I have time. In a year or 2 years, then I make the premiere. Yeah.
Well, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, Yurik, what is your next project?
My next project is to bring the film in the cinema. That is the next project.
Okay.
And I played in other films, and I'm in the studio, and I just have finished about 70 stories about film and theater, background stories I'm a little bit like a dream dancer, and so I had really funny stories lived in theater, also in film. And when I tell it to friends or other actors, they say, "You have to write it down. You have to write it down." And that I take the virus year to write all these, and it comes 70 stories, and now I just started to make a book of it.
Oh,
Amazing.
very cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to hear that you guys are still planning to have distributed your movie in movie theaters, because, for instance, electronic music was all over in movie theaters, in art house movie theaters in Hungary. So as our previous documentaries in this series, but our fourth upcoming documentary that we just finished recently about the rock scene, we are not even planning to have a movie theater release, because I just don't think realistically that people will go back to movie theaters in 2021. I mean, I just don't. I
Or
just
they come, the movie is a so beautiful thing. They come back. I swear it to you.
I mean,
Okay.
I wish. I wish. It's just that, for instance, now we are thinking of VOD and other platforms, because also those things are huge. So, but I totally understand you and I hear you. It's just that it's interesting that, for instance, in Hungarian reality, we don't really risk it, because we just don't think it's gonna happen. But maybe in Switzerland it's different, and good for you guys. I
We had
mean,
Zurich, a wonderful international film festival, and the people come. They have to sit. One seat is a person, one seat is nobody, and everybody have to have the mask. And when it gets dark, everybody takes the mask away, and they're watching all the films. They were fully booked, the cinemas, all this time.
Right.
Good cinema is I say to you.
I mean, we're going to be celebrating our 10th year as a festival next year. I'm hoping we're back in the theaters, but I'm not, it's wishful thinking. I'm not really sure that's going to happen.
Yeah, I hope for you too. And
Thank
you
you.
will show Esther's and my film, right?
Exactly.
Oh, you have said yes. You have to show it.
I didn't say in a movie theater. Just kidding. But with the 1918 Spanish flu, 100 years ago, when there was the other pandemic, that lasted 3 years. So we're only kind of just approaching, halfway, a year. Well, it's not even been a year yet. So, I'm not sure. I'm hoping we're going to be able to go back to theaters by November next year, but I'm still going to be planning for online.
All of these antivirus you put in the what do you say?
The vaccine. The vaccine.
Yeah, it's just the newspapers are full of that in Europe.
Are you going to take it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't trust things. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's
I'm
really
vegan. I'm vegan,
story.
so it's not made in a vegan way. There's, it's based on a lot of animal products like sharks. I was reading, and it's also based on egg. So anyway, we diverse.
I don't take it.
Anyway, Uwe, what's next for you?
I wrote already a pseudo sequel to my first film, The Radicalization of Jeff Boyd, but it's completely independent and original. So it's more like the spiritualization of Jeff Boyd. I wrote it, and then it's a huge task in front of me, put everything together. But I wrote it, and that's one first step is underway. So we'll see how that develops. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Anything else you guys want to add? Go on.
I mean, I just want to mention a few things about my plans, if you don't mind, because I
Oh, did I not get to you? I'm so sorry.
totally fine. It's absolutely fine. So I'm working on my first miniseries idea that I wanna. I mean, I'm basically the creator of it, and it's about a very strong female character and a very Eastern European story that could be interesting for, because of a female perspective all over the world. And I'm also, as a producer, it's so funny because I'm working now in a Swiss-Israeli-Hungarian co-production. So who knows? I'm gonna tell my Swiss co-producer that I'm having a discussion with on Friday. I will mention you. I hope it will happen. And I have 15 other American and English or British American productions, but I don't really know because of the pandemic. No one really knows anything. So these are not easy times for any of us, right? Nothing is certain. But I want to concentrate more on creating. I also want to more turn towards writing and just to use this time as beneficially as I can and stay positive and optimistic. And also your festival, and I mean, being featured in your festival is a great thing to any of us from Europe, because we come from a different corner of the world, and it's great that you guys are interested in our stuff. Thank you for selecting us.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for submitting to the festival.
Yes. Very much. It's really nice.
I'm Croatian, so I'm kind of from your neck of the woods anyway. So I might live in LA, but I'm Australian,
right?
I'm Australian, American, Croatian. So yeah, no, I love all the storytelling you guys have brought to the festival. It's been wonderful to watch everything and get a different perspective, from what's happening in your side of the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so everybody, it's the last day to watch any of the films. And if you go to the website, it's spiffest.org. You can watch all these films for free until midnight Pacific time, LA time. And I want to thank all my filmmakers. Thank you guys for being here. And I want to thank my tech crew, Kayla, who's been running these Q&As, and everyone else that has been involved with the festival. The designer, Tim, who's done our website and our program book, and Patty, who's been helping us, and everyone involved in the festival. Thank you. Stay safe, wear a mask, and we'll see you in the coming years.
And all the best for you. 10th festival next year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you virtually. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.